Welcome to day 5 of Discount Travel Secrets. Today is the final day, and we are finally talking about food. But of course, before we hop into everything, I want to review the goal one last time. My hope is that by the end of this, you'll have an understanding of each sector of the tourism industry and how to maximize discounts in each one. So far, we've talked about transportation, lodging, and attractions, and the final topic is going to be about food. So, what falls under food? It's not just the restaurants you go to, it can be wineries and breweries and catering and bars and vending machines and grocery stores. Anything that you are consuming is going to fall under this category. Okay, so why is food important to Discount Travel Secrets? This is because, like every other category, it can make or break your budget for your trip. Some people are completely content to buy groceries when they go on their trip and just cook food like in their timeshare if they have a full kitchen or their Airbnb, and they don't really go out to eat or spend extra money on food that they wouldn't be spending at home. Others consider food to be like the center of the trip. Like the whole reason you're there is to eat all of the food. Like, would I go to the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot and bring my own snacks? No. I'm going to eat Epcot's festival foods all day long until I've tried everything that I want to try. But not everyone can do that every single day of like a week-long vacation. A lot of people probably fall somewhere in the middle where you keep some snacks on hand so that you're not starving all the time. But then you also still eat probably 2 meals out a day. I feel like 3 restaurant meals a day that would be a lot. But most of the time when we travel, I would say we have like 2 full meals out at restaurants and maybe a snack or something. Okay, so how do you unlock the food discount travel secrets? The first thing is to bring your own food. So getting something from a grocery store is going to be significantly cheaper than getting it from a restaurant. It's going to be likely much higher quality than something you're going to get from a fast food place, and even fast food isn't that cheap anymore. So when we do our camping trips, we would bring our own food, usually for like dinner and for breakfast. Since we were tent camping, we needed to be like at our campsite before nighttime to set up and stuff. So usually dinner would be there at the campsite. And then breakfast, I've never really been a big breakfast person. JP kind of is. Definitely has to have coffee, but sometimes kind of needs breakfast first thing in the day. But then lunch we would always plan to have out because we would be out and about doing stuff. The only time that it would be reversed is we've done some national park trips where we're like staying in a hotel somewhere else. And some of the national parks, if you're in them all day, they don't have any sort of food in them for you to get, so you have to bring your own stuff. So there probably were days on some of our longer road trips that we didn't go out to a single restaurant and we had to rely on all of our own food. But the example I have in here is we did a 19-day camping trip all around like the western US, mostly doing national parks. And we bought groceries in advance for this, and it only cost us $68 to feed ourselves breakfast, snacks, and dinner for 19 days. I don't know what we spent on lunches. It might be in here somewhere, but we weren't necessarily trying to save as much as humanly possible because we knew we were spending so little on all the other meals that if a lunch needed to be a splurge, it could have been a splurge. With going out to eat, a lot of times you can really get away with sharing meals. I think sometimes you forget like how big some restaurant portions are, or like you're just so hungry that you're like, I could eat a whole meal, but I need an appetizer like just to get started. And then once you have a couple bites, you're like, okay, like I'm good. I don't need to eat a whole restaurant portion. So what JP and I will do a lot is we'll share like one appetizer, one entree, one dessert, and like he'll get a drink. I usually just drink water like 99% of the time, unless we're going like somewhere nice, then I'll have a glass of wine sometimes. And that, just one appetizer, one entree, and one dessert is plenty for 2 people 99% of the time. Sometimes we'll do like 2 entrees and a dessert, or like a few appetizers and a dessert. It just kind of depends on what jumps out at the menu that we want to try, but we don't do like we don't each need to have like a 3-course menu. And even places that offer 3-course menus, like one of us will do the 3-course menu and the other one of us will get some sort of like I'll do the like side of mac and cheese or something, and then we'll share the whole thing because restaurant portions are just truly insane here. This also helps if you're like not able to take leftovers with you for whatever reason. Don't order more than you can eat because then you're just going to be throwing food away, which is throwing money away too. And I do have here that I don't actually recommend like fast food to save money because most of it is junk food. And like growing up, I ate a decent amount of it because that's what was given to me. But as an adult, like I don't get a craving for it. When I do eat it, it's never as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. Like it just tastes so junky to me now. But if it's something that's like a regional place that we can't get everywhere, like when I go to California, I will have In-N-Out. When I'm in the Midwest, now Culver's is pretty much everywhere, but back in the day it was not. So we would go to Culver's if it was there. Taco John's is another one, but I don't plan trips on like McDonald's and Taco Bell. If you like that, like, you know, be my guest, but my discount travel secret is not just eat McDonald's every single day and you'll save money. TripAdvisor and Groupon are another great place for finding dining discounts. So they have attraction stuff, but a lot of restaurants will give you coupons to like a free dessert if you order 2 entrees or a free appetizer if you have 2 entrees. There's really any sort of combination that you can think of places offer. It depends on, you know, what kind of destination you're going to, if it's like a big tourist destination or not. But it's always worth checking out just to see if they have something. A lot of the brochures that are in the visitor centers and the hotels, the ones for restaurants, also have those same kinds of discounts too. And just in general, for looking for ideas of where to eat, Instagram is a really good place to look because people take really good like pictures and videos of it. But also I use TripAdvisor for the most part. When I'm first researching some ideas on places that we might want to eat, I go to TripAdvisor first. Or if I'm going somewhere, like when we go to Williamsburg in Virginia, I looked up like historic restaurants because I know the whole purpose of Williamsburg is this colonial area. So I know that historic restaurants are going to be the draw, so I look up those first. But other places, like we're going to Virginia Beach and Outer Banks soon, I probably wouldn't look specifically historic restaurants, but just like what places are good or what has the best seafood and stuff like that. So TripAdvisor is really good for that. Instagram's really good for that as well. Okay, so your assignment now to kind of bring this all together is you can do this for the trips on your bucket list, or you can even do this for around home. Go to TripAdvisor and or Groupon and look up restaurants and see what discounts are available, what deals are going on. A lot of times too, if you go to like the Instagram account of the restaurant, you might be able to see different promotions that are going on that you might not have heard about otherwise. And once you do that, you should have been able to plan one of your bucket list items. You should now have ideas on how transportation can be cheaper, either getting there or getting around once you're there, how lodging can be cheaper, how your attractions and entertainment can be cheaper, or maybe you've thought of a place that just has cheap attractions and entertainment, like outdoorsy places. And you should also now have food options where you might either get a Groupon discount or just find different deals that are going on, or even just finding more affordable places. So if you go on TripAdvisor and rank stuff, it gives you like different dollar sign amounts. So if you just eliminate like the fine dining level, you can even find even the $1 sign are not all just like McDonald's and Taco Bell. There's quick service foods that are still like good quality. So you can also check out those as well. They're likely like mom and pop type places anyway, which is, we tend to stay away from chains when we travel and try to find local stuff as much as possible. But once you get all of this stuff together, you can let us know in the discussion over here. You can ask any questions, you can share your findings. And I also have a thing here. One of my recommendations for saving money on food, I have this in another freebie later on that I had added on to here, The Landry Select Club, you'll see Landry's restaurants at pretty much every tourism destination. So this is like Bubba Gump, Joe's Crab Shack, Morton's Steakhouse, Rainforest Cafe, all those types of places. When you join, it's $25 to join. But once your account's activated, they give that $25 credit back to you. And then every year on your birthday, you get another $25 credit. And there's a ton of like kind of off-brand Landry's things where it's like one-off locations that happen to be part of Landry's. So JP and I each have our own Landry's membership. That way we each get the $25 for our birthday. And like when we lived in Southern California, there's so many places to use them at. But then also Vegas, there's a place called Trevi that it's good at. And now that we live in Ohio, there's none that are in Dayton anymore, but Cincinnati and Columbus have a handful. Mitchell's Steakhouse in Columbus is really good. And then we also did Chart House is another one that's part of it. So we did Chart House in Cincinnati. We've done the Chart House that's at the Tower of the Americas in San Antonio. So you're in like that spinning restaurant on top of the tower. So we use those every single year around each of our birthdays. It doesn't have to be used like on your birthday. I think you just get it during your birthday month and then you can use it whenever. So that's something that we use. Disney has Rainforest Cafe, T-Rex, Yak and Yeti is part of them. So there's a ton of different destinations all over that you can use these at every year. So that's one of the food freebies. But if you are looking for even more food ideas, I have a module in here. Let me go over to it. There's a module in here under bonuses. And it is about restaurant loyalty rewards programs to save on dining. So this is for if you are doing more of the chain restaurants. I won't say 100% of the time not to do a chain restaurant because sometimes they have unique things at different locations, just like I mentioned with Landry's. This one will give you even more ideas to save money on dining. But anyway, that is it for Discount Travel Seek. The next lessons will start getting into what was originally my Travel Lovers bundle, has now been combined into this one free resource guide. So there is still plenty more to come for saving money on travel.